Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Rain and Her Showers. I hope you're all having a lovely whatever time of the day it is that you are watching this. My first thing I would like to say is apologies that this video is 7 days late. We are already 7 days into the month of March. I've just had a lot going on in my personal life that it's not been easy to sit down and make time to make a video, but I'm finally here. As you know, the saying, better late than never. So let us get into the astrology of March. If you are interested in finding out how the astrology this month will affect you as an individual as well as the collective, then this video is for you. Okay, before I start the video, don't forget to do 3 important things for me as a new creator. Like this video, comment, share, and subscribe. That's actually 4 things. And turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss any of the other videos that I will be posting on this channel that will not only be about astrology but other aspects of my life as a creator and someone who lives in South Korea. Okay, let's get into it. On the 1st of March to the 13th of April, we have Venus retrograde in Aries. So before I get into the details of this, let me explain what a retrograde is. A retrograde is when a planet looks like it is moving backwards, and therefore all the themes that are affecting that planet that would usually be on an external level are all on an internal level. In reality though, this planet is not moving backwards. It's just moving faster than all the other planets. That is why it looks like it's moving backwards, but it's actually ahead of every other planet in terms of its orbit. What will we be reviewing during this Venus retrograde? It will be love, money, and personal values. This is because Venus rules those things like love, money, pleasure, art, and luxury. Okay, and because it is in the sign of Aries, there will be a lot of healthy competition involved. There will be a lot of self-evaluation involved, and also themes that connect with Aries, such as leadership, taking things on, being a go-getter. These are the things that are going to come up in this in these 6 weeks. Which planets are going to be, or rather which signs are going to be affected the most? This is going to be people with 0 to 10 degrees of cardinal signs. Our cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, and Capricorn, as well as Cancer. And if you have 24 to 29 degrees of mutable signs such as Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Virgo, this is because the retrograde will first move and be in Aries, and then if I'm not mistaken, on the 27th, yes, it will move into Pisces, and that is why the mutable signs will be most affected. Okay, what are you supposed to be doing during this time? Examine what you value and why you value it. How do you approach your relationships? What has been working and what hasn't been working, and what makes you happy? Things that you should not do is do not resist change and go back to things that you might have overlooked or not discussed in detail and gotten clarity in your personal relationships. This is a good time to talk about things that you might have discussed with a partner and it just felt vague. It kind of felt like you guys didn't know where you really stood on this topic or this subject. So it's a good time to go back to that. This is not the best time, unfortunately, to start official new relationships. Especially with the Mercury retrograde energy that will be coming 2 weeks later after this transit starts. This is because Mercury retrograde is a planet all about our communication, and that could cause a lot of miscommunication and confusion. Refrain from texting, calling, spending time with your exes. It might feel like the right thing to do now, but when the retrograde ends after the 13th of April and we officially exit the post shadow of the Venus retrograde, it might not feel as good as it did or sound as great of an idea as it was during the retrograde. There might be some bumps in relationships, and this might be because of the possible selfishness. Because Venus is in Aries right now, Aries is a very self-serving sign. It thinks of itself first. And honestly, sometimes being selfish is good, but you can't do too much of that, especially in romantic relationships. Compromise and balance is important. It should always try to be a give and take. So be wary of those things. From March 27th to April 13th, Venus will still be in retrograde, but it will be in Pisces, meaning now we will be more sympathetic in our relationships, more understanding. It will be easier to have more difficult conversations as well because of the empathetic and understanding and open and caring energy that Pisces brings. As I mentioned, that there will be a Mercury retrograde happening around this time too, so be mindful of miscommunication still. Okay, then Mercury will enter Aries. This will give us the opportunity to speak our minds and speak our truths, to be very confident and bold in the way we communicate with others and communicate our thoughts, emotions, and feelings, whether that's through one-on-one conversations, written work, social media, music, art, or poetry. Whatever form of communication, we will be feeling more bold. It's a good time to step into leadership positions and to not be afraid to kind of spearhead projects and be the forefront of a project. But don't get too ahead of yourself, because like I said, in less than 2 weeks, once Mercury enters Aries, it will go retrograde, which is when, I'm sure you're all wondering, that will be the 14th of March. Here are some things to expect. There will be delays in traveling and communication. Make sure to slow down when you're speaking. Think before you speak. As I mentioned, Mercury is the planet that rules our communication, our short-term travel. Some technology too, and so we will see delays in these areas, and it's very important to think before you do things, to say things before you think before you say things, and also to be open to possible delays in travel. If you have to possibly rebook a flight, it's also a very good time for people who are flying to make sure that you know which board gate you're going to, your flight number, the time, the boarding time, the closing time. It's very important to be looking at those details. Also, be mindful to pack everything you need, such as your ticket and your ID and your passport. These are some things that you might forget. And then in terms of those who are traveling on the road, there might be a lot more road rage. Remember, Mars is still in Cancer, and so it's still very touchy and emotional. Mixed with this Mercury in Aries, there can be a lot of like emotional, but also like rage and anger. So be very mindful not to give into road rage and impulsiveness while driving. Be wary of signing any new contracts around this time. If possible, do not sign anything at all. It's a good time to review and look over contracts, but because of the retrograde and the fact that Mercury rules everything that has to do with communication, even written communication, right now might not be the best time to do that. So if possible, delay that if possible. Realize that there will be a lot more vagueness and confusion, lack of clarity and communication in person, over the phone, or any kind of communication. So make sure to ask for clarity so that you and whoever you are having conversations with, make sure everyone is on the same page. Okay, let's talk about the first lunar eclipse. So we have eclipse season, and I know that can be a little scary for most people, but remember that like any challenging transit and lunation in astrology is not there to make your life more difficult. In fact, it's there to push you to grow. So we will have the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo on the 13th or the 14th of March, the same day as the retrograde, depending where you are. Those with 23 to 24 degrees of Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini placements will feel this full moon the most. This will be highlighting energies in our lives where we overly focus on perfection. This is because the moon is in Virgo, and Virgo is an earth sign, a mutable earth sign, which is great with adapting and going with the flow, but it can also be too fixed on making things perfect. And sometimes this lunation will show us where can we let go of perfection and be more open to adaptability. The Sun, North Node, Saturn, and Neptune will all be in Pisces, so this is good because once again we will be able to be open to being empathetic and sympathetic and understanding towards others. It's also a really good time to tap into our imagination, tap into our dream world, really be creative with our manifesting, use elements of water, keep a dream journal, and really let yourself be very creative. It's a time to go with the flow and to try to forgive mistakes of the past and think of a greater dream and a greater vision for the collective. Okay, this lunation will be ruled by the Mercury in Aries, meaning that we will stick up for what we want and we will be very strong in our convictions in terms of what we've chosen to commit to. But it will also show us what we need to let go of. This full moon might bring people from our past lives. This is because of the Mercury energy, the Mercury retrograde energy to be more specific. And this could be people from our lives in the past, in this life, or our past lives before this life. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, March 19th, the sun will conjunct Neptune. So the sun in Pisces will conjunct Neptune in Pisces. This is a really good day for meditation, healing, acceptance, and forgiveness. You will get a boost of confidence if you dwell in trusting in your higher power, whatever that might be, and really meditating and sitting in that space and getting clarity and vision and wisdom from a higher power. March 20th, Pisces season ends and Aries season begins. Aries is a cardinal fire sign. Cardinal signs are naturally very creative, go-getters. They like to do what they say they're gonna do. And Aries is a fire sign. It is also the first fire sign of the zodiac, and this will also mark the astrological new year. Pisces is the very last astrological sign, and so when Pisces season ends, so does the astrological year. Sun moving into Aries will give us a boost in confidence, strength, and energy, and this is because the sun is exalted, so it likes to be in Aries. This will be, like I said, the new astrological season, so it is a good time to embrace new beginnings. And if you might want to look at it this way, it would be a renew of the new year that we had in January. Also, in the Northern Hemisphere, spring will officially start. And so we will see things will start to bloom again. Flowers will start to come to life. It will get warmer. Things that were dying will start to grow again. And so just like that is happening in nature, that will symbolically also be happening in our personal lives. And we can start to see those things and see things grow and bloom. And we can use that energy in our personal lives as well. From the 22nd to the 24th, these are the best days of the month because we have two Kazimis. First, on the 22nd of March, we have the Venus Kazimi. This is a very romantic day, a perfect day to celebrate your loved ones. And if you are in a romantic relationship, celebrate your partner, go on a date with them, and nurture your relationships. It's also a good time to let your aesthetic shine and to be artistic and very expressive in your artistic expression and just be your most authentic and creative self. March 23rd, we have Mercury Kazimi, which is a good day for a clarity of mind, a good day for achievements, sales, and might be the only good time to sign a contract during this retrograde would be March 23rd. After that, not such a good time. And it is a day of great courage. March 27th, as I mentioned earlier, Venus moves in Pisces, and I already mentioned what those themes will entail. March 28th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries happening 9 degrees of Aries. Cardinal signs will feel it the most. Our cardinal signs are Aries, just give me a second. Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer will be feeling this new moon solar eclipse in Aries the most. As a collective, we will see themes in Aries coming up a lot, such as leadership, conflict, wars, weapons, sports, self-assertion, housing, poetry, and real estate. Yeah, so more on that. I will give more detail on the full moons and the new moons in separate videos. This is just a general March astrology update. And then Neptune in Aries on March 30th. This will be the first time it moves in the sign in 150 years. People with 0 to 2 degrees of cardinal signs. Cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Cancer, and not Sagittarius, just hold on, and Capricorn. Yes. Okay, this will highlight themes of being like a spiritual warrior and being and focusing on some kind of sports, because Aries also rules the sports, but also the mind, because Aries rules the head in terms of the body in astrology. But like I said, people 0 to 2 degrees of cardinal signs will feel this the most. That is the astrology of March. I hope you're all looking forward to this month. all the best for everything that's happening with this month. I know when people hear retrogrades and eclipses, they kind of get scared, and a few astrologers are saying that this might not feel like the best time, but like I said, challenges in astrological challenges are honestly just trying to push us to grow. Always see a challenge as an opportunity for growth. So I will see you guys in the next video, which will be for the full moon happening in Virgo on the 13th or 14th of March, depending on where you are in the world. For now, I will leave you with my favorite quote, which is, go out and live your life in love, because there is so much more to love than there is to fear. Until next time, bye.